Hey everyone. So my first story is going to be about me. So when I'm telling other people's story, I'll make it anonymous and say someone else's story. But this is going to be about me, and this is going to be about I was lived in Warri growing up, right? So growing up, I lived with different people. I'll give that story reason. I'll give reasons why, but in a different episode. This story is very long, so I'll just have to put it in parts because of other platforms. But to get the full video, you have to go to the YouTube channel A Day with Feb. I'm going to put the YouTube link on my WhatsApp status and my Facebook as well. So I lived with different people growing up. Reasons will be said later. And I think I stayed more with my mom and my stepdad. And the house. See, this story I'm going to tell you is an example of not all the glitter is gold. So we lived around River Road. For those who know Warri very well, we lived around River Road, a very beautiful compound. In fact, the compound was like, if not the most beautiful on the streets, like it was gated, well gated. We had trees, we had mango trees, orange trees. Then we have these ebelebo trees. Those are not ebelebo. Do you understand what I mean by ebelebo tree? So we have kids from within the area, within the ebelebo tree. So kids within the area, they always come, they throw stone, they use sticks because they can't enter the compound. It's gated. We always lock our gates, right? But it's like not, how would I put it, like those low fence and burglaries, those visible burglaries, so you can actually see inside the compound and we can see outside as well. So it's not like you can't see inside the compound, you can. So and the compound had two buildings. One is story building, which had the landlord occupy the top and two tenants downstairs. Why my mom and my stepdad occupied the bungalow. There's a bungalow separate, right? So two buildings in one compound owned by the landlord. And the landlord is from Ubie. Afkas. I'm not going to call names, please. The landlord is an Afkas. Like maybe one of the parents were white or so, but he was white. That's not Ubie. They speak Ubie, you understand? So, yeah, so but a lot of people think that, oh, he's a white man, he's a white man. The children were all Afkas too. Some were black, but majority of them that were around the house, they were white as well. So it was just three tenants. Our own side, we occupied the whole bungalow, 3-bedroom bungalow. We occupied it, which was separate from story building anyway, but inside the same compound. Then two tenants at story building now. So it was just three tenants and all. So among the tenants, there was a pastor from Pastor Ayo, who church for church. Okay, the pastor from his church there. Then the other tenants in the middle, my mom's friend. We turned out to be family friends, very close. We still communicate even till now. Yeah. So, when we moved into that house, that was many years ago. I was still in primary school. My stepdad was doing very, very well, and my stepdad is from a very wealthy home. From his family, like they are well-known family in Warri, just like the way in Lagos you have the Otedolas, you have the Adenugas and the rest. My stepdad is from a well-known home, right? And the family is also into politics. His father was into politics, so it was really okay. Just staying there. Everybody was doing very well. Like the landlord had Benz then. In fact, it was just Benz. That compound was full of luxury. Everybody in that compound was having Benz. Like my stepdad had 2 baby Benz and 2 Volvo. We had 4 cars. My stepdad had 2 baby Benz and 2 Volvo. My mom had a very big shop. My mom is a fashion designer. She doesn't sew anymore. She's a fashion designer at their time, or a very big fashion designer. So she goes to Ghana, Togo, Aba to source on each other, to source for fabrics. She sells fabrics and then she sews wedding gowns at then. So yeah, she was a fashion designer. Doing so well. We went to the best primary school. We're talking about best primary schools in Warriors at then. We went to the best primary schools, okay? So everything was perfect. It was okay. Our lives were beautiful. Then see, if they see us, they will look, because they don't allow us, the kids from that compound, like myself, my siblings, my neighbors, they never allowed us to mingle with children from the area, right? We were always indoors, always inside the compound. Don't open the gate and go outside. The only time we mingle with kids when we go to school, when we go to church, or when my mom take us out. Even when my mom's taking us out, my mom took us out like every Saturday. She would drive from Warri to Abraka. It was every Saturday. Every Saturday she will invite my cousins, the ones that are available, will come over. We will all go, we'll cook like a picnic. We'll cook, we'll carry juice, we'll carry cups, we'll carry plates, we'll carry whatever. We always go to Abraka every Saturday. Go to the Abraka River every Saturday. So life was luxury. Like it was luxurious for all of us, okay? Then came a certain time in our lives Everything was just vanishing. It was like, just like in the movies, actually. Everything was just disappearing right before our eyes. Not just for us. Everyone in the compound. We don't know about the landlord, but for every other person in the compound. Everything was just disappearing. My stepdad lost his job, started selling the cars, sold the cars, started selling household items. We had table tennis table in our sitting room. Our sitting room was so huge that we had space. After setting the furniture and everything, we still had massive space. But dining was not inclusive. We still had massive space at the back where we put the table tennis. Everything was just going right before our eyes. School fees could not be paid. We changed school. In between that time, I moved to Port Harcourt. I stayed for some years. That's the story. By the time I came back to Warri, I had to go to a government school. My brothers were still in one small, no longer the luxury school anymore, but in a private school anyway. I was still okay at the time. My mom closed down her shop. Cars were gone. House rent could barely be paid. Like, everything was just... My stepdad had to go to Benin to look for a driving job. I think he worked with some Chinese in Benin for contract driver. Nothing was working. My mom was trying to buy stuff to resell. She was still going to Ghana, but not... she didn't have a shop. She was doing most of the things from home, sewing from home, selling bags and the rest, doing some small businesses from home anyway to sustain us, to feed us. While my stepdad had to move from Warri to Benin because he was now working as a driver, right? So it was really difficult. It was really difficult. See people that were like that same environment, see people that were doing so well and now doing so bad. It was really difficult. Then we discovered something. That compound, we had a dog. The landlord had a dog. It's the landlord's dog, very big dog, right? Then somewhere along the line, we started discovering something with the help of the dog anyway. In front of, remember, the bungalow was separate from the duplex, from the story building. So where we were, our own bungalow, we had places where you can plant flowers. You can actually plant flowers, right? So there was sand there and all. So we discovered that anytime the dog, because we have flowers planted there, anytime the dog comes towards our front, to our veranda, it's always scattering that flower place. To scatter that place because nobody wants to sweep it. I'm the only girl child in the house, so nobody wants to sweep. So when I see the dog, and I was scared of the dog, I would just tell my mom to go and chase the dog so I can just sweep. So we're like, what's this dog looking for? The dog go to the back and do the same thing, like back of the house, do the same thing, go to the side of the house, do the same thing. When I'm wondering, what's this dog doing? Was there something there? So I don't know. In Lagos, we don't have tools in Lagos. I don't understand. You hardly see person with cutlass inside house in Lagos. In Warri, we had cutlass, we had rake, we had shovel, everything. I think everybody in Warri has all those tools in their houses. So I brought out shovel from the house and I was digging, like waiting this dog to find for a year. Lo and behold, we saw chicken that was strangled. No blood, they didn't cut the neck. The neck was still there, intact, just like it's dangling, but they didn't cut it. As if when you go chicken, you break the chicken neck, right? They buried the chicken upside down, so the feet were up like this, right? So when I was like, I hope bury chicken leg like this. So I was still digging. It's full chicken with the feathers, everything, full chicken with the neck strangled, buried there. Buried there. And I called my mom. We brought it out. There was an uncompleted building opposite our own building, so we just had to open the gate to go across because the street go across the road. So we're just throwing it there. Same thing from the back. Our bathroom window at the back, same thing. Because what we started doing, anywhere we see the dog digging, we just carry shovel. Oh yeah, start digging. So they were burying 2 in our front. Because the bungalow is so wide, the 3-bedroom so big and so wide. So 2 in our front, 1 by the side of the bathroom, 1 by the side of the other bathroom at the back, because we had 2 bathrooms. So 1 at the back of each bathroom and 2 in front. That's 4. I think we experienced it first before the neighbors. We were experiencing it for some months before the neighbors. Then the pastor, his own side, he had flowers too. They were now burying there. 1. We had to tell our neighbors, like, what did they happen? See what is going on, see what we're seeing, we don't know what's happening. So our neighbors, when they see dog go to their own side, they were now digging and then they were seeing it. So it's probably these things have been going on since, and the chicken will just get rotten inside there and just mix with the old sand. We won't even notice. Maybe that's why things have just been going bad for us. We didn't pay attention to it at all. Now the other tenant in the middle, she doesn't have anywhere to plant flower. It's just like tiles, concrete all through. Do you know what they do? You know when you open your door, your foot mat, when you put your foot mat outside, just right in front of your door, like you're coming out, they will remove the feathers of the chicken and place it near a foot mat, because she always takes in her foot mat every evening and brings it out. So they will remove the feathers and just put it right in front where she puts her foot mat. So if you open your door without even looking or paying attention, you step down, you're stepping on those feathers. You actually see them arranged like foot mats there, right in front of her own space. Now, to go upstairs to the landlord's house, the door is in between this tenant and this tenant, and it's a glass door made of glass, so it makes noise like those real old glasses. So it makes noise when you're opening and closing, and it's always like closed. We complained to the landlord. Nothing was done. He didn't say anything. If I know my mom and other tenants went to complain to him, I said, "So what is going on?" He didn't say anything. We're like, okay, well. So the pastor was like, we shouldn't throw away these things anymore. That we should gather them and burn them and pray and burn them. In fact, I think before we came to prayer and burning, he said, okay, we should be holding all night in his house. So every day, there was no specific, it was every day from, was it 11 to 12? Yes, from 9 to 12. No, it's from 9. From 9 o'clock till 12. It's from 9 because then we're watching this Philippines series, and then they finish by 8:45 or 8:48 or something like that. So maybe sometimes we don't finish it in their house. We go to their house around 8 o'clock, just stay till 12. So our prayers end 12, which is the pastor's house. So our flat, the other neighbor's flat, we all go to the other the pastor's house. The landlord doesn't come down. His family doesn't come down, right? So we go to his house. We just pray, praise and worship, pray against every negative. Things were really getting bad. We could barely eat 3 square meal. We could barely eat. We could barely wear good clothes as kids. We could barely do, like, it was really terrible. I cannot, as an adult now, I just imagine how my mother must have felt, like having kids that you cannot even take care of. Because sometimes, even as an adult, when I'm broke, I'm taking care of myself, and I'm like, how come I'm so broke that I can't take care of myself? So imagine having kids to take care of, not just yourself. So I can imagine what they actually went through, their mental health. I'm sure they must have gone through depression and so on and so forth. So we were praying. So the thing stopped for just a few days. That bearing of things. This story I'm telling you, it went on for years. It's not 2 years, not 3 years old. It went on for years. If we could not move out, there was no money to move out. I know some people would be like, why did you guys move out of the house? Why did you guys move out? There was no money to move out. And then we're still owing rent. No money to pack. See, no money to pay transport to go anywhere. There was no money. And we had sold almost everything from the house. We had sold virtually almost everything. There was no money to move. So we're praying one of these days, and then normally 12 o'clock we finish our prayers. So we came out. The gates always lock our gate by 10. Is it 9 or 10? Either 9 or 10. We always lock with padlock. Everybody has a key. So we all know that everybody's inside the house, because then everybody comes home really early. So one day, we'll finish our prayers by 12. We came out from the pastor's house. Voila, we saw feathers in the other neighbors, because anytime we see, because we no longer wait for the dog to come and sniff through the sand anymore. We don't wait. Once we see feathers in our neighbors, the other ladies' fronts, like footmats, we know so they don't bury. Just to carry shovel and start digging around the house. So we just dig around. Sometimes we will miss some spots that by the time we see the chicken, it's already bringing out maggots, which means I'll be there for days. You understand? So we finish prayers, we come out, and then we're seeing feathers. We're like, remember that so we're not thinking maybe it's the landlord's household. Maybe not the 91. Because a lot of news were flying. There's something I can't really say. A lot of news were flying that it's not on, the man puts hand for something like that. And even if he comes down to do any of that, we're just like a wall away from a staircase. The door never opened. The gate was not opened. The other tenants were all in one person's house. There is no person missing. Every child, my whole household were in the pastor's house. The other neighbor, the other lady, our entire household was in the pastor's house. The pastor's household, we all complete in his house. We're coming out, and the thing, we're like, who they go and they vanish? Because we were not suspecting the dog. It got so bad that we were suspecting the dog. Maybe the dog turned to human being. We don't know. So it got so bad. I'm laughing now, but it was to laugh about back then. So we were suspecting the dog. Like maybe the dog they told, maybe not the dog they listened. That's what we were saying. We're like, if they're saying the dog, is the dog that still comes out during the day to sniff it out? I was like, maybe they possessed the dog at night. Maybe the dog changes to human being, or maybe we're not like it was all a guess. Like maybe it was we're suspecting the dog one. Then we're saying maybe the person they vanished come one, then vanish back. But who exactly? Who was the person? Why would the person be doing all of this? So it was everybody was we don't say we should pack. Nobody get money to pack. Nobody had money to pack. So the pastor said, okay, we should be glad. This thing went on. We still continue our prayer. Even when we finish our prayer, we'll still see. Immediately we finish prayer, we'll still see. Immediately we finish prayer, we'll still see. Immediately we finish prayer, we'll still. Like it went on for years. It went on for years, and we never stopped praying. So the pastor now said, instead of us to even be praying these things away like we do, we should just gather them and burn and pray, put anointing, pray against whoever we should be burning the chickens. So we all agreed, and we're now doing it. Once it's 7 a.m., you wake up, just carry shovel and dig it, because obviously it is there. So you just dig, everybody will just dig, we bring it to, it was our own front of the bungalow. That's where we put it, and then we burn to where the ashes and rest. And while we are burning, the pastor, we are always praying. And the prayer point was that whoever is doing this to ruin our lives, may that person's children continue to die like chicken. That was the major prayer point. May that person's children